All right, guys. Alex, why don't you go ahead and say it?
All right, well, I guess kind of first of all, how much did that crowd kind of help tonight? Obviously, you felt the biggest crowd so far this season. How much did that help you guys on the stretch there?
I think it's huge just in terms of giving us that extra little boost and making the other team feel that energy as well, coming to support us. So I think it's a big thing, and obviously it was great to see.
After the 15-0 run to kind of seize the momentum and take the lead,
Yep.
What was the key to just kind of recovering from that?
Stay the course. Obviously, that's happened a couple times this season, and we're trying to take something from each game and learn from it. And so this game, kind of just taking all those games in the past and applying those lessons to this one and finding a way to get a stop, get a couple kills at the end of the game, and find a way to finish. So that's huge credit to EA and Noah for sure.
A lot of us haven't been in the position where we're dribbling the ball at midcourt and the shot clock's or the game clock's going down. Can you tell us what's going through your mind on that final drive and kind of what coach wanted out of that?
Yeah, well, I had been in a similar position like that at Santa Clara, and I believe I made a turnover. I threw it out of bounds. So I knew, like, once I was in that position again where I had control to take over the game and to secure a win, that I'd make sure that I get that done. So I felt really comfortable second time around. And like Coach knows, I want those situations. I want the ball in my hands. So he just said, go make a play, put me in a good position. He took a defender out the way, so I had double gap drive into my left hand, and then I just powered through the finish and drew a foul.
Maldo, what does it mean to you to see the kids stepping up and having the ball in that spot?
Yeah, he's like a little brother to me. So I mean, I really appreciate everything he's done and the work he puts in. So to be able to see him in that situation, and I completely trust him, just to go out there and get us that win. So.
No, what was it like to have both hunters back today?
I mean, you guys saw it. It's just like, shoot, you got somebody that can draw a double and then allow you to play 3-on-2 on the back end or whatever. It just makes the game so much easier. And then, man, Big Nate and Thompson were just such a huge interior presence on defense. I'm so proud of Big Nate, man. He just waited his turn. He never complained. Showed up every day, and he's reaping the benefits right now. So I'm super proud of Nate.
X did a great job on Stevens throughout the game, but on that last possession, I think you were on, and we just saw him hit, half foot short the other day. What was kind of the mindset of their last possession?
I asked him if he had another one in him, but I kind of knew they're going to try to get the ball in his hands no matter what. So for me, it was kind of just they're going to have to. There are 2 seconds. They're going to have to throw the ball past half court. So just trying to time it up right and make a play on that. Obviously, I think I have pretty good instincts and feel for that situation, and I went out there and made a play.
Kind of piggybacking off him, I know it's a team effort, but what can you say about Ducell and what he did against a guy like Stevens today?
I mean, he had 15 points on 11 shots, and he's going to get his points no matter what because of how many shots he takes. I mean, he's a great player. A lot of respect towards him. But he almost flirted with a triple double again. But X did an amazing job. I can't say enough about that. And that's all coming down to who X is as a person and the willpower to be able to guard for 40 minutes.
So holding the Reds in the 20s in the first half, and obviously 57 for the game. I mean, how much did the defense kind of step up in this one?
Oh, yeah, I think it stepped up a lot. I mean, we had 8 kills, which was huge. And at the end of the day, if you can get that many, you're going to put yourself in a position to win.
Jeff kind of said you were having trouble breathing a week ago and kind of scared some people. I mean, you've been through so much as a team. What was this last week like for you? How'd you get better?
Yeah, it was tough, but at the end of the day, all the support from my teammates and the coaching staff. I mean, Coach came with me to the hospital, so it was so real. But I could see they're all there for me, and that helped me get back. And at the end of the day, for me, even if I'm injured, this is my last go around. No matter what, this is the last time playing CSU at home, so I'm gonna give it everything I got.
Well, did you ever have a moment where it's like, here we go again?
It's fun.
CSU getting the lead there in the second half and starting to roll a little bit, and what happened at Air Force just on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it was a different situation. Like, they were hitting tough shots. Air Force is more of like, it was more of like the way we designed our defense.
They came out and made some plays at Air Force, which
right.
It's tough.
And we forced CSU into some tough shots. So it's like, I mean, as long as you got guys that can keep composure on the floor and realize that it's possession by possession, offensively and defensively. Like you can't really get like frazzled even with a crowd like that. But
What can this do for you guys? Finally over the hump.
Yeah, I think obviously that's what everybody wants it to be, and we have to continue to take steps in that direction. Obviously, one game, if we go out and play how we did the past 4 games, the next game, it doesn't matter. So we got to continue to take steps, continue to get better each and every single day. And I think at the end of the day, we'll continue to get better and get over that hump.
So a guy we haven't talked about in a while, so Ethan Anderson, what have you kind of seen out of him over the last couple of games? And obviously here today.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it today. Being able to go out there and create a play. Obviously, when teams are sitting down defensively, we have a lot of good defensive teams in this conference. Sometimes you have to go out there and find a way to make a play. It's not going to be presented to you. And down the stretch, that's what he did.
What does it mean to get both hunters back on the lineup for you guys on the court?
well, I was saying earlier, just like Maldo being able to take the ball and draw doubles out of certain defenses, whether they want to fire or choke on them. Regardless, we know that double's coming. So we're just allowed to play, advantage offense on the other side of the floor, as soon as because he's really good at making those passes out of that double. So it allows us to play advantage basketball where we got 3 guys on 2 or, 4 guys, 4 guys on 3. So
Gonna feel pretty good to go practice with the W.
Yeah, well, but obviously you got to enjoy today and then get ready for tomorrow because I think we leave for UNLV on Monday. So.
the Rebels.
Thanks, guys. Congrats.
Down.
Right.
The quietest double bubble. Yeah.
Every 3 and then seems to
Thanks.
yeah.
Border War does not never disappoints and ages you in dog years every time you play one. I mean, I think in the 3 years that I've been here, I mean, that's 5 games in a row now that have come down to literally the last possession. And thought we played, really well in the first half on both ends of the floor. But just like always, I mean, whether that was playing at their place last year when they got up big early, it's one of those deals where you could be up 30 and just never feel like your lead's safe. And, coming out of halftime, our energy dropped a little bit. We missed a couple shots and they made a couple shots, and then give them credit. I mean, that's a team that's got some veteran guys that have won a lot of games, and, you knew they weren't going to quit. And thankfully for our guys, and it was nice to have a couple more guys back to where we didn't have to play guys who were down the stretch where you could actually sub some guys out and where you're not just dying. And that's where, our problem's been in a lot of these close games is where there is no subs and those guys got to push through some things. I thought they did that. And that's what this team needed. They needed, even though the second half, give CSU credit. They kind of, it really flipped the script. I mean, it looked like, one half of us and then for us, that last 4 minutes to find ways to get stops once they got the lead, because there's been a lot of games this year where, they get the lead and then we put our heads down, but our guys stayed the course. I thought the crowd played a huge part in that, the energy that was in the building, and then to find ways to get stops down the end. And then for us to find ways to close the game, and knowing how they were really loading up on Maldo. I thought, we had to go, with some other guys, and I thought, Ethan did a really good job. And then Noah did a really good job in terms of finding ways to to get us some baskets when we needed baskets. But collectively overall, I thought, X did a really good job. I mean, look at Stevens. I mean, almost had a triple double, but X made him work for everything he got. I mean, I think X played, he played 36 and pretty much matched his minutes. And I thought that played a big part. And, so like I said, it's just good. This team needed, I said, we needed a spark. We're 1-0 now, and now we can just build off of that, enjoy this one. It's been a long time. I'm not sure how long it's been since we won a game, but it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling for those guys. Because those guys, I mean, a lot of teams, I mean, you start losing games like that, and you're having to deal with a lot of negativity, body language, attitudes, and this group's stayed. They've stayed the course, and that's a credit to their character. And hopefully we can build on it, knowing it doesn't get any easier.
What can that do for you guys to get off the ropes? I mean, a 15-0 run, they take the lead.
Yeah, and it was one just and it's a game of momentum, and it's hard to stop that momentum. And whether that's trying to use a timeout, and we had some shots that were that were good looks, and it was just I mean, momentum is a funny thing. We had all the momentum in the first half, they had in the second half, but I said at least we found a way and did a good job there at the end. I mean, Isaiah Stevens has been in that situation a lot this year and throughout the course of his career, and Maldo did a really good job in terms of not letting him get a catch and sealing the deal.
What went into your thinking to give the ball to Noah there in crunch time?
Well, the fact that he's our leading scorer and he's a guy that's not scared of the moment, and that's what he's done, and that's the first time the ball's been in his hands, and he deserved to have the ball in his hands, and thankfully he found a way to create some contact, draw the foul, and then took some pressure off himself by making the first one. And now if he probably would have made the first and they had no timeouts, then we probably try to miss the second, so you don't let Stevens try to get a shot. But I thought we did a good job of really executing down the stretch, which is hard when you have a team that's just, I mean, Maldo and these guys coming back and you're having to juggle things. And I thought our guys did a good job of understanding what we were trying to do the last few minutes.
So we talked quite a bit about the defense recently. So holding CSU to 21 in the first half and 57 in total. I mean, how much did they kind of step up?
Yeah, I mean, I thought the first half, I mean, they're a team that, they're really good offensively. If you allowed them to kind of just go from A to B, they're hard to guard. And I thought, you have to disrupt the rhythm and timing. And I thought we did that for most of the first half. And that's the reason why we forced them, a team that doesn't turn the ball over, and they turned it over 18 times. We were able to speed them up a little bit. And then the second half, I said, I thought and probably even with the group that we do have, I mean, just trying to sustain that energy, it's hard. And especially, I said, you have two guys in Thompson and Maldo that, even though Maldo played 36 minutes, I mean, those guys, I mean, Thompson hadn't done anything in 3 weeks, and you could tell. I mean, and that's especially coming off of mono, which is even harder. But I thought those guys did a good job. And in the second half, I mean, there was one point when they were shooting about 65%, and at least we found a way to get them down to 50, because that at least gives you a chance to win.
As much as it aged you, is the timing and this year's board work pretty good? I mean, you had a big crowd, you had a big win.
Yeah, I mean, it's always nice, especially this time of year, to have a game on a Saturday and an afternoon game, and then Mother Nature cooperated and made sure that we could get people here, and that's what that makes it hard to play here when you have that type of energy in the gym. And hopefully, like I said, we can build off of that and hopefully take a step in the right direction.
Against Boise State, it was Smith hitting 3 threes right out of the gate, and then Becker hitting 3 threes on Tuesday, and now it's 3 straight turnovers from you guys to start the second half. Thinking, here we go again.
Well, I mean, it would be one if here it goes again. If we were, it was in the case of Boise where you're down 8 or Air Force. I mean, it was just a matter of just trying not to do too much, and that's where sometimes, I mean, a game like that, an environment like that. And you really look at that game last year. I mean, a lot of those guys were on the floor in that game last year. Ethan, Noah played some minutes, but he didn't play a lot against them last year in that game. And so just understanding that, what's required to finish off a team like that. And, they've had their fair share of issues too, in terms of, what they've had to deal with injuries and whatnot. But, I thought our guys, I said, it wasn't pretty, but, if the effort's right, then it gives you a chance. And I thought our effort over the course of the 40 minutes was probably the best that we've had all year.
How much have you kind of seen? Obviously, you had a really good game on Tuesday too, but out of Ethan, just the last couple of games, man, how much has he kind of stepped up for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's in the fact that he can, another guard that can handle the ball and against good players who has the ability to get by good players. there's not a lot of guys in college basketball who just have the ability to get by a guy. And so and he does a good job of picking his spots, and he has the ability to find guys. I thought in the first half he did a really good job finding guys. It's just a matter of him is that, those 32 minutes that, trying to get it to where his pace, has to be at a level that's that much better. That's something that, it's constantly been talking to him about, but he's a smart player. He knows what's going on. He's been in games. He's been in big games. He's been in rivalry games. And so that definitely helps the cause.
So Maldo said 8 kills today. Have you guys had close to 8 kills?
Probably La Tech might be the last one. And so at least those guys recognize that, knowing that that's where winning lies. And we've had some games where it's been 5 or 6, but for us to find a way to put together, if you can get 7 or 8, I mean, usually that's going to equate to a win. And even too, when, second half, when offensively, we stalled out a little bit, our defense was allowed at least finding ways to get stops to where now you can win the game.
That's good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Slide up the road on the way home. Oh, nice. to meet you. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was hoping they would, like, so what do you guys do for dinner?
Yeah. Yeah, you just never know. Thanks for coming up.
Yeah. I love to pray out.
Say, go have a. Or depending on how we use this purpose. It's not coverage.